Welcome to our channel Tech Dunia. In this video, we will be discussing essential Linux commands that every DevOps engineer should know. These commands are not just basics, they are the building blocks for efficient troubleshooting and daily operations. Let's dive into the commands that make the life easier when managing servers and applications. As you see on the screen, we are already aware of that how to bring up the VM in our local machine. So I just ran the command vagrant up. It will help us to bring up the local VM. So my VM has been up now, and then I already have the IP of my VM, which is 192.168.56.31. I logged into the server by using the mobile external tool. In this session, we are going to cover few commands which we use to travel in our day-to-day tasks. Those commands are majorly alias, cd, ls, chmod, chown, man, grep, and ps. We will discuss each command with some examples. Now, the first command is alias. The purpose of it is just create the shortcuts for frequently used or long commands. What we can say with alias is, imagine we are running some complex commands on daily basis at regular intervals of time or multiple times in a day. With the help of this alias, that portion will be very easy, so that we no need to run the long commands or complex commands, the commands end to end. Let's see how we can use them. In general, once you log into the server, if you want to see the file systems or what the size or how much space is being used, the general command is dff-h. So this command will help us to get to know what is the total disk size, how we have the 512 GB hard drive in our laptops. In the same way, for this VM, it has been taken as a 40 GB as the hard disk. Under that, 3.7 gig has been used, so the value is 37 GB. So I want to make it as alias. How can I do that? Alias usage. So now I no need to run the dff-h command. Just run the command usage. See the boom. So this is the benefit of the alias. Not only this, if you are working on a microservice with Kubernetes, we used to run the commands like kubectl get pod name or kubectl apply, kubectl describe, like that. In the same way, even if I want to see the some ports, I want to see the ports, what all the ports are open. The command is netstat -tlpun. For this also, I can go as alias, like I want to see the ports. What can I do? Alias ports, and then give the actual command. What is the actual command? So since then, we just run the command ports. So we no need to give the commands, big commands or very complex command, which will help us to reduce our work. Now, the second command is cd. So cd, the full form is change directory. What does that mean? Right now, where am I? In Linux terminal, we can see with the help of the pwd where we are. So pw, like present working directory, it will help us to know where are we. Because with our busy hectic, sometimes we may forget where we are. Like you are trying to running some commands in one path, but that particular application or that particular package is not there in the respective path, so that it will fail. Then the pwd helps a lot to first see where are we. So based on that, you can change to the respective directory. I want to go to the var temp. So how do I go? cd/var/temp. So now if we do the pwd, now it is showing as the var temp. So this is the way the cd will help a lot to move us from one place to another place, like from one location to another location. The next command is ls. Ls means list. You want to see what are the files or directories underneath in the path. So the command is ls. If I do the ls-la-rt, it will help to it will show us the files or directories which are there inside the var temp. You can see one small difference here. If I do the ls, it will just list whatever the contents are there inside the path. You don't know whatever whether it is file or directory. It will the ls will help you to see whether the content is there or not. Yes, some content is there, so you don't know whether it is file or directory. You don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. So in order to get the more details, the command is ls-l. So list. So it will list the details like what is the size. It's a 0 size. And who is the owner, who is the group, like this owner is part of which group, and what type of permission is the owner have, and what type of permission is the group have, and what type of permission is the other have. In Linux, if you want to see the hidden files, we have to run the command ls-la. You can see the difference. See this, if you see the -l, you are not able to see any files or directories which starts with the dot. In Linux point of view, any hidden file starts with the dot. So that is the reason if you use the -l, it will not list the hidden files. So then which command will help you to list the hidden files? ls-la. So A is the argument which will help you to get the hidden files. And the next two commands are plays very major role, chmod and chown. The purpose of this is just change the file permissions. So before making the change, first we need to understand what are the file permissions are there. So with the help of the chmod, we can say permissions determine who can read, who can write, or who can execute the file. And with the chmod, we can change the permissions of the file as well. Now we'll see how we can do that. To get a better understanding of the chmod and chown, let me create two sample files. So I'm creating the two sample files with the help of the touch tf3, tf4. So the touch command will help to get create of the files with a 0 size. There is no content in that. Now I want to see whether it is file or what are there. As we already saw that ls-la, R means recursively, T means time perspective also. So tf3, tf4 has been created. How do I know these are files or directory? If you see this, the entry starts with D, means it is a directory. The entry starts with a hyphen, it is a file. If any file, if any entry which starts with hyphen, that we will call it as a file. Now let me take these tf3 and tf4 files. Copy. Let me increase the size. Just to better understanding only, I'm making this. So as you see the file tf3 and tf4. First, I'm giving some brief on tf3. The same is applicable for the tf4 also. If you take any file or directory, you should see this type of structure. So the first one always refers to the owner, and the second thing always refers to the group. These two sections will talks about the group, who is the owner and who that owner is part of the which group. And the starting of the file, you can see three segments are there. I just written the numbers for the better understanding. It is rw dash, and the second set is r dash dash. The third set is r dash dash. The first set always refers to the owner of the group. The second set always refers to the group of like that particular owner is part of which group. And the third set always refers to the other. Means neither owner of the file or the people who are from the part of that particular group. Those are all comes under other. So as you see the permission of the file, it is showing as read write dash and then read dash. As I said, read write dash means what? This particular first set will always refer to the owner, which indicates the owner of the file. Who is the owner? Root is the owner. That guy, what that guy can do? That guy can read the file, write the file, but he cannot execute. So even the owner of the file also, he cannot execute this because it is not executable file. And what the group people can do means the people who are part of the group, like I am a DevOps engineer, so I might get the root privileges. If you are working as a developer, you may not get the root privileges. So you are not part of the group. So you only can read the file. You can't write, you can't execute. And what is this? The third part, the third section, as it is referring other. Other always means either neither owner nor group. That way, like the people who are not a owner, the people who is not a owner, and the people who are not from the group also, those are all comes under the other, and those guys can read the file only. Now, if you want to change the permission, means you want to give the right permissions to the group also. How can we do that? So where or when you want to change the permissions of the file, this chmod command will help. How it will help? Now I want to give the permissions, like write permissions to the group. So I want to give the permission to group. What I want to give? W means write. Where I want to give? tf3. So this command will help you to give the right permission to that particular group on tf3 file. If you want to give the execute also, so what you can do? chmod g plus x and then tf3. This is one way. The another way is each parameter, each argument carries one value. That is R notates read having the value 4, W indicates write having the value 2, X indicates execute having the value 1. 4 plus 2 6, 6 plus 1 7. So if the owner wants to execute, so the first segment should be RWX, means the first segment should carry the value as 7. The first segment should carry the value as 7. How can I do that? So either I can give like this, or else the same way I can give chmod 7. I want to give the write. Write means 4 plus 2, 6. I don't want to give any executable. So TF3. Either that model is, either that way is correct, or this way is also correct. Chmod, here I want to give the executable permission to others. We'll see what will happen. Copy. Now LSFN LART. If you see this, the permission now become as a RWX. Let me take this. Now, if you see the first set RWX, how it became X? Because I have mentioned that I want 7. So that is the reason RWX. Now the second set I want to become as a 6. 4 plus 2, 6. Right? See this read value, write value. And executable is empty. Now for the group other, I want to give as a 7. So that is the reason I just given as 7. Now you could see RWX. Like this, we can change the values or we can change the permissions of the file or directory with the help of the chmod. Now, the next command is chown. So, the naming, if you read the command properly, we could understand a bit on that. Chown means change ownership. What does that mean? At this moment, the owner, root is the owner and the group is root. I want to change this. So, ls-lart. So, tf3. I want to change the ownership. How? Chown, I want to give the owner as a root and that owner also part of vagrant group only. So, tf3. Now, ls-lar. See, earlier it is root root, but now it is vagrant vagrant. How it is came? With the help of the chown, we have changed the permissions of the, we have changed the ownership. We have changed the ownership of the file. So chown is the command which will help you to change the ownership of the file or directory. In real time, it's not that much easy to remember many of the commands. So where we have one command or one package which will help us to know what are the arguments are there inside the command. Even you no need to recall. So in the terminal itself, we can run the command that is man. So man and you have to tell one command. For example, you want to know something about cd, man cd. So it will list all the arguments what are there or what are the arguments you can use for the cd. So man helps a lot. So you no need to remember. You can even if you forgot if you forget any of the command, you don't know what the parameters you have to give for the ls. So man ls hyphen a all hyphen a almost all b. So for each letter or for each character, there is one purpose. So man command helps like whenever we are stuck or curious about what command can do or what are the parameters or what are the arguments are there inside the command, the man will helps to know those things. The next command which we are going to talk is grep. As a DevOps engineer, you will often debug issues or we are working on so much of issues where you need to troubleshoot. The grep command will help a lot the people who are working on the support kind of role. The reason is the error logs will generate with a lots of sizes as the file having hundreds of the lines or hundreds of the content in the file. This grep will help you to segregate that. It will easy our work to fetch the required data inside the file. So how to use grep? In general, all the log files will generate under var log. Cd var log. See, if you see the size of the file is 298343 KB. It's a big entry, like big content is there. Now let us see. You want to see the content. What is the command? Cat is the command which will help you to see the content inside the file. Cat and the file name. See, this much of data is there. In this much big data, it's not that much easy to remember or to find any error, especially any of the application is failing or any of the error relevant to the servers. Some people reported that DHCP is not working. So what we can do? Cat messages pipe grep DHCP4 or star. Say this. In the message file, these much of entries are there which are with the DHCP. Like whatever the line is carries with the DHCP, it will list. You may get doubt. Some cases, some content would be in the uppercase. So how can we get that? Cat messages. In Linux, one more beauty is even if you're not able to recall the complete path or complete command, tab will help you. You just type as MES and then press the tab key from your keyboard. It will list whatever the files or whatever the commands or whatever the list is there which starts with the MES in that location. Pipe grep. I want to see the DHCP. So uppercase is there, lowercase is there. So now you want to see that your least bother, whether it is uppercase, whether it is lowercase. You want to see that whatever the errors are generated with that word, you just press the up arrow so that it will list the previous command grep hyphen I DHCP. So the DHCP hyphen I will help you to list the search, the word which we are trying to search, whether it is uppercase or lowercase. The hyphen I will help a lot in such a way. So that is the reason in general it's better to use the hyphen I. The next command is PS. PS is process. Like the PS will help like to display the information about the running process. The PS command helps us to monitor what is happening in the system, and the PS command will help to troubleshoot the issues in the deep dive. I want to see what all the processes are running in the server. PS AUX, these much of the process are running in the server. Some cases application team will report their application is not running. Then we can see that any service, any process which is relevant to the application is running or not. If it is not in the running state, I mean, if it is not listed here, then we can say that okay, application is not started. Even some cases you could see the process ID your application is using for the Apache. If you want to see any application related process, ps-ef5 grep -i Apache. If Apache is there, it will list one service. Like for example, SSH to better understand. See this SSH is running. That is the reason it is showing the path. In the above case, Apache is not there in the server. That is the reason you have not received any output. Means it is not showing any specific path. But whereas if you see in the SSH, it is showing this much of the paths. If you want to kill any process which is in the hung state, you just take the process ID and kill it. I'm not killing now because my SSH session is live. Simple kill -9 and then process ID, which is 2827. Yeah, these commands are just the beginning. Mastering team will streamlining your workflow and enhance productivity as a DevOps engineer. So these are the commands which we use to use in our day-to-day tasks. So these commands are just the beginning. Once you mastering them, we can say will streamline your workflow and enhance the productivity as well. As a DevOps engineer, practice regularly with these commands, which will help to make your job easy. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Thanks for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe the channel.